Okay, so I've been using the Threads app for a couple of weeks now, and I have to admit, this app is pretty damn good. I mean, to me, Threads is the perfect example of what a good UX can do to a business or a digital product. It's the perfect example of why more businesses should start taking UX more seriously. Now, I know there's a lot of controversy around the fact that they have completely copied Twitter, but I'm not gonna get into that today. In today's video, I just wanna talk to you about the app from a user experience point of view and show you what strategies they've used to get over 30 million signups in 24 hours and why nobody seems to be able to stop using the app. So the first UX strategy that they deployed is the low friction sign up. Now, I know that if you do the math and you take into consideration the fact that Instagram has around 1.6 billion users around the world, then 30 million users may not seem that impressive. If you calculate the conversion rate, that will be roughly around 1.82%. What we have to remember is that this is just in one day. And on top of that, if you compare it to Twitter's user base, which is around 350 million, that is almost 10% of Twitter's user base in just one day. I don't know about you, but to me, that is insane. So what does low friction sign up actually mean? The low friction sign up means that the sign up process has to be as simple as possible, removing any unnecessary friction for the user when they create an account. If we look at their onboarding process, Threads sign up is incredibly simple. So after you download the app, you open it, then they prompt you to log in into your Instagram account, which requires you just to tap a button. Then they ask you to fill in your profile, which again you can do in one click. Select the account type, some follower questions, some privacy policy, and that's it. In just 5 clicks and in less than 30 seconds, you are inside the app exploring the content. Now, if they were to implement a sign-up process, just like most of the apps out there, imagine like add name, email, password, verify phone, add profile image, add bio, and so on. Users will drop off in an instant, right? I mean, who gives all their details before even having the chance to check the app to see if they like it or not? This is a strategy that you should apply to your designs or projects as well. Just ask for a username and a password. Let the user explore the app, and only afterwards start asking for details like the address, billing information, or whatever other information you require from the user to allow him to use your app or product. But what about the stickiness? Why do users keep coming back to the app? And here I identified 5 main strategies that they use. The first one is familiarity. Now, because they got inspired by Twitter, most users, when they first saw the app, for them it looked familiar. Even if they were not aware of this, they most likely had a good feeling about this app. And that is not a random thing. This is actually psychological, and it's deeply rooted in our brain. When something new looks similar or close to something that we already trust, we are more likely to trust that new thing. This dates all the way back to when we were hunter-gatherers. Even now, we use the exact same instinct when we eat something new for the first time or try something new. We always try to compare it to a taste or a texture we already know. That's why when people try to eat, for example, crocodile meat, they always compare it to a fish or a chicken. And the thing is that this strategy is not only used by UX designers, it's also used by Hollywood managers when choosing new talent or actors. If they want to play safe, they always pick people who look familiar to an already famous actor. If you don't trust me, just Google lookalike actors. You'll be shocked how many famous people look alike. And that cannot be a coincidence. The second strategy is personalized content. Now, this one is a bit harder to pull off if you don't have data about your user. But in Threads' case, that was not an issue, as they had a shit ton of data from Instagram. What this strategy implies is that the content that the user sees should be personalized to them as an individual and should not be something generic. And Threads did an amazing job at this. For example, I tried creating an account with an old Instagram profile that I created a few years ago. And although I was only following 3 people on my Instagram account, when I landed on the feed, the content was pretty personalized to me. Even though I was not following any of those individuals that were showing showing up on my Threads feed. And that's because Instagram knows the type of content you like, even if you don't follow those accounts. This is something that is used across all your favorite apps: Netflix, Amazon Prime, YouTube, Hulu, you name it. They are all using the data to personalize the content to you. This strategy gives the user that feeling of a cozy or safe feeling. This is why when you log into a different computer or use someone else's account, something feels off. You're not sure why, but it doesn't feel like you. The next one is variable rewards. Now, this is not a new strategy per se, but is very, very effective. What variable reward refers to is that the user should not be able to predict what they will get. To achieve this, companies and apps like Threads implement something called the infinity scroll or the doom scroll, where users keep scrolling endlessly through content without knowing exactly what they want or what they will get and what the end goal is. They just scroll endlessly to find something that is interesting, like a funny video, a meme, or whatever they like. This strategy is used by all social media platforms: YouTube, Reddit, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Threads, Netflix, you name it. Everyone who is in the entertainment industry is using this tactic to keep you hooked to their screens. And if you combine this with the personalized content that we talked previously, then this strategy is an absolute killer. So I can bombard you with ads and crappy content that make me as a company money. And just as you're about to close the app because you cannot find any interesting content, I can show you something that you like, and then you get that dopamine hit. And now you're happy again because you found something interesting and you keep scrolling. And I can repeat this process over and over again until you reach your limit and you go to sleep. And they are not the only ones who are doing this. Casinos and the gambling industry use the exact same tactics to keep people playing. That's why, as you lose your money, during that process, you randomly win just enough to keep you interested, to keep you playing, and to give you kind of like that false hope that you have a chance to recoup your losses. The fourth strategy is FOMO, aka the fear of missing out. Again, this is not something new. I think all of us had this feeling at least once in our life. Now, the way Threads managed to do this is by sponsoring/paying influencers and creators to jump on the app and start generating content. So when everyone saw that their favorite content creators are posting on Instagram that they're now using Threads, they wanted to check that thing out as well, so they don't miss out on this shiny new thing. Now, obviously, I just want to mention that this is just an assumption, as I don't have any proof that Threads actually sponsored or paid influencers or creators to start posting on Threads. But to me, it seems a bit strange that big creators are randomly jumping on a new app and start posting about it to their fan base just to test it out and without getting paid. And this feeling of missing out, again, it's deeply rooted in our brain, because back in the days when we were fighting for our survival, if we were not part of a group or a pack, you had a higher chance of dying or getting eaten by a wild animal. That's why we have this herd mentality, if you will. That's why we want to go where everyone is going. It's not because we're weak. It's just a survival mechanism. The way you can implement this in your designs or projects is by creating this fake perception of urgency or scarcity. It can be something like 10 spots are left, or you have until 10 p.m. to sign up for this free seminar, or anything that creates a feeling of urgency. You will see that all these internet gurus are using this to sell their books, courses, or whatever they want to promote. So next time you see an ad with 10 spots left to join a free seminar, just think about it. What's going to happen after those 10 spots will be filled? There's not going to be enough room on the internet, or what? And the last strategy that they used is a well-designed user interface. To me, this is the glue that ties all of this together. All of these strategies that I previously mentioned are held by the fact that the design of this app is just really good. If you put Threads and Twitter side by side, you will see that even though they look very similar, most people, I think, will be more attracted to Threads. It just looks a bit more modern, more clear, and it has that feeling that it's easier to navigate. And again, this is not a coincidence. The reason why the app feels like this is because the design team who designed this knew what they were doing. They knew how to utilize the white space. They knew how big the icon should be, how large the image from your feed should be, and so on. I can go into details on this one as well, but it will take me an entire video. All I want to say is that the main reason all of those tactics that we previously mentioned work so well is because they were packaged in a very well-made UI. And that's it. These are some of the secrets / strategies that help threads become so popular overnight. All of these strategies that I mentioned can be used in your digital products as well. So I highly encourage you not only to listen to these strategies, but also try to implement them in your next projects. And if possible, try to use these strategies not to make more money for a greedy company, but try to help people out. Try to help them adapt a healthier habit, to eat better, spend less time on their screens and phones, whatever it is, but try to use these tactics to do good. And if you want to show off to your friends and tell them why they are actually hooked to their phones every single day, then feel free to share this video. Because when you start knowing about these tactics, you'll be less likely to fall for them. It's like a magic trick. Once you know how it's done, it's not that interesting anymore. And with this being said, thank you so much for watching. Thank you again for being here with me. Love to have you around. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. And I'm gonna see you in the next video. So, that was a long video. It's just, yeah, my R6 is just melted. It's literally, I need to call the fire department. It's gonna catch fire soon. So, yeah. This reminds me of that old song. It's like, burn, baby, burn. Let's go Inferno. Burn, baby, burn. Dun. But yeah, till next time, take care. Bye. 30 million. Started having fun with this. Now, this is a tricky word. Familiarity. Familiarity. Jesus, how do you pronounce familiarity? Do you think I'm gonna make it? I don't know how to pronounce it. Literally, I've tried so many times. First one is familiarity. Let me know, is it better performance?